Hiya and welcome to another video. Hope you are well. If you are new, please do subscribe if you like this video. If you like what I do, you can also follow me on Instagram at queerhinny and book a reading at queerhinny@gmail.com if you fancy it. And I just wanted to make this video, well, for a few reasons. First of all, there's not really much information on YouTube that I've been able to find about your Mercury return. On around September 2nd, September 3rd, I had my own personal Mercury return. There's Mercury, which in the tarot can be represented by the card the Magician, the major arcana card the Magician. And this, these archetypes, the Magician, Mercury, Coyote, Hermes, these archetypes are all to do with communication, tricks, play, intelligence, wit, quickness, dexterity, mental stimulation. A lot to do also with connectivity, especially quick connectivity, so getting from A to B very quickly. And so we get these associations when we talk about Mercury with transport and the locality. And the locality can be the physical, so the things and the people immediately around you, aka your neighborhood, your neighbors, but also it can be your digital localities, so the websites or the networks, digitally, social media wise, that you are a part of on the daily, basically, or very regularly, and the kind of interactions, conversations, exchanges you have there. And also, intelligence, the way you think, the way you communicate, the way you relate, the way you process. We are all born with a Mercury placement. The Mercury return is when Mercury reaches the exact degree it was at on the day you were born. Mercury, being quite a fast-moving planet, takes roughly 1 year to return to where it was. Each year you have your Mercury return, and Mercury, of course, it kind of follows the sun. Sometimes it goes ahead, but it kind of follows the sun as the sun moves around. And so Venus and Mercury especially are never too far ahead or behind the sun in astrology through the zodiac. Mercury was last in Virgo, according to my research, on September 11th last year, 2018. So that was when I last had my Mercury return. And this year's Mercury return was September 2nd, September 3rd. I am a bit sleepy today, I'm sorry, it's evening right now. I got back from work not too long ago, so I'm just kind of chilling and hoping that you are interested in this, because we all have a Mercury return, and it's really interesting because we love to talk about, because this word return in astrology is often known when we talk about Saturn return, because Saturn is this planet which takes much longer to get to where it was when you were born again. It takes around about 27 to, 29 years. So, is that right? Anyway, at some point around about the age of 27, 28, 29, Saturn returns to where it was when you were born. And this is Saturn return. And this kind of has the most popularity in astrology. It's the most well-known return, because Saturn is associated with karma. Saturn's associated with the sort of first life crisis, if you like. It's associated also with, is it the 27 Club or the 28 Club? The so-called band of people who committed suicide around that age. And astrologically speaking, this is due to the karmic return that Saturn delivers around about this time for everyone. And that karmic delivery is based on everything you have and have not earned up until that point. So if you've cheated on people, if you've cheated your way into things, out of things, if you've lived off other people, other things, if you've hurt people, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff builds up to around about the age of 27, 28, and Saturn, this archetype of Saturn, is that which takes away that which we haven't really earned. But anyway, that's the Saturn return, and it gets more popularity because it's a bit more scary in astrology. Actually, Saturn return can be very, very, very powerful time, very brilliant time for completely restructuring in terms of time, in terms of boundaries, in terms of discipline, in terms of getting serious about things again, tangible about things again, and in terms of really looking at your reputation and all that kind of Saturnian stuff. But back to Mercury return. Oh, also we have the solar return, which is basically your birthday. So your birthday is your solar return. It's the sun also going back to the place it was at when you were born. So astrologically speaking, that's just another word for birthday, solar return. But yeah, Mercury return is not too often talked about. Yeah, I also wanted to share with you guys, like around about September 2nd, 3rd, just a couple of days ago, was when I finally decided to quit my PhD program, even though I'm at the very kind of final stages, and I'm aware that there will be people who judge me for this decision, but actually it's something that I've kind of finalized. It's something that I had tried to quit once before already, actually, and was persuaded by others to don't quit, keep going, do it. But no, realizing still that I still 1 year later, even more than 1 year later, still feel the way I felt about it, and realizing actually that a lot of the reason for prolonging this quitting has had to do with pride, has had to do with ego, when actually passion was completely lost, and want for the PhD was completely lost, and it's a very huge burden financially, and provides, because of that reason, stress, a lot of stress. And my current situation is just so different and so far removed from anything to do with that thing that I committed to about 4 years ago. The solar, anyway, what I'm trying to say is the Mercury return, for me personally, and it will do this for everyone, has just marked this moment where finally I'm able to think clearly, and finally I'm able to communicate what it is that I actually want. And yeah, Mercury, or the Mercury return, increases your clarity of thought. So yeah, if you've been thinking about a particular thing for about a year or a long time within the year period, it's where more communication of these thoughts comes about. It's when a mental kind of mulling over something comes full circle. It's kind of where Mercury's just like, no, let's get it all off our chest, and let's also be intelligent. Let's also be intelligent for ourselves, for what we want, actually, not based on ego that is fulfilled by what other people expect of you, or what other people say you should do, and all that jazz. And when we talk about Mercury, we can talk about the Magician, as I said, the Magician card in the Tarot, but we can also, with the Mercury return and this kind of mental clarity, talk about the Ace of Swords card, because that's also a card of kind of mental clarity and also mental victory. Finally swinging that sword as well to be ultimately decisive. And with any return, it's the ultimate point. It's the end. It's kind of when all is said and done. What do you actually think with the Mercury return? What do you actually think, and are you actually going to speak and communicate, send that message, that email, that letter? Are you actually going to think, use your thinker for yourself? So yeah, it does increase also around about, when the Sun and Mercury get closer to where they were when you were born, you do start to really get increasing bright and exciting ideas. The brightness provided by the Sun, of course, but Mercury mainly being about the thinking, the ideas, drawing up new plans even for stuff. You almost instantaneously come across information that affirms your thoughts. So again, if you've been thinking for up to a year about something, about someone, it's where you keep getting more and more signs, more and more affirmation from others, from other situations, that this is the right thought to go down. Yeah, this is the right thought to get out. These are the right words to say. This is the right thought process or thought pattern. And often with the Mercury return, basically all that was needed to be said is said. all that was needed to be said is said. Finally, again, it can be this letting something off, communicating something, letting it off your chest kind of thing. And it can also be to do with, thoughts, and writing things down as well for yourself. And you're pretty much, and this action of writing as well, or typing, or messaging, or writing in your kind of smartphone notes app, it's kind of, all these things, it's the mental meeting the physical, where you start to really, especially now that if you're a Virgo, or if you have your Mercury in Virgo, especially the writing plays an important part. It's basically Mercury really trying to show you, come on, this is a completion of that thought process. This is a completion, and I'm just making you search for things to affirm this and affirm this. I'm just making you write more and write more and write more to almost like a mantra, an incantation, or a process of channeling the mercurial power that you have. In many different ways, you're channeling that to hopefully act, because Mars is going to be, well, Mars right now I think is behind Mercury and the Sun, but there is a conjunction right now. But especially when Mars and Mercury are close, near on your natal positions, this is actually when you're going to have more action as well, when you're actually going to have more push. So, okay, helicopter. Yeah, so all that needed to be said, or thought, or written is pretty much complete, and Mercury is helping you start a fresh slate cycle. And all of the messages as well that should come in, they come in. And again, it's part of the affirmations. All the messages that you need to come in, come in. And it's kind of like, okay, we're done. We're done for real. Especially once all the planets start coming through, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, once they've all kind of pushed through your sign, your birthday sign, that's when you really are done with the cycle. But in the mercurial sense, it's like the thinking, the writing, the even the nervousness, it's all done. And you're ready to start that new cycle, mercurially speaking. Finally, some Mercury in Virgo celebrities who are very soon or a little bit later going to have their Mercury return are Avril Lavigne, around about September 20th. Avril Lavigne is a Libra sun, not a Virgo sun, but with Mercury in Virgo. The singer Pink had it around September 3rd, 4th. And then Hugh Grant around September 10th or 11th. And then Nick Jonas as well around September 11th. So, I don't know, look out to see if they are communicating something in public even, or on their social media even, around about these times, that may well shine some light on it, may well reflect some of these things that I've discussed in this video on your Mercury return. And that is all, my loves, for this little video. It was just a wee idea. I hope it was insightful, useful. If you are having your Mercury return soon, or you've had it recently, or if you just have any thoughts on Mercury return in general, let me know, let us know, let's have a little discussion in the comments, maybe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Happy Thursday Learn Day. See you next time. Love you very much. Mwah.